Oh, are you kidding me?
Hey everyone, this is Joy here and welcome to another video. We're calling this the 3 climbs. As you can see from the elevation profile, there's a couple of climbs going on there. But beforehand, let's give you some stats. The total distance of this ride was 29 miles, 1,900 feet of gain. I was pretty sick from this ride also. Actually, before the ride, I was feeling a little ill. But just give you some stats again, or some information about the climbs. The first one is Old Stone, which is gravel. This next one is a paved road along Bulls Bridge. And then the cream of the crop, Fuller Mountain Road, which is also a paved road climb. So there's a number of things going on in this screen here. So let me start off from left to right. On the left side, the top part, it shows you the gradient of the terrain. Right below that is the current elevation, not elevation gain. And then right below that is the heart rate. And then right below that is the speed in miles per hour. The image to the right is the course map, so the little red dot will follow as I move along the course. So already you could see that my heart rate is up. 173 is high. Climbing, I can see why it could be high, but I think it was unusually high today because I'm fighting a cold, and I have been trying to get rid of this cold for a week now, and not that it's an excuse, but I think that's why my heart rate was so high. I was breathing pretty heavily throughout this. So this section right here, it starts to get steep as it makes a turn. I'm actually breathing fairly heavily now. You can see my heart rate is 185. It went up to 186, going at a snail's pace at 5 miles per hour. This isn't actually a long course, and it was just steep. And trying the new tires on this was actually a pretty nice ride. I just wanted to see how much traction it can have. But yeah, at one point I think it might have reached 10% gradient. So now it's gone down to 4, and I think there's a little bit of a hill there, but that's pretty much it for the rest of this one. So we wound up walking the bikes through because there were some trees that have fallen over and we're not cyclocross riders, so we keep seeing more leaves. And then we end up in this other area where the trail seems to have stopped. But going through that, we wound up in this beautiful golf course and paved roads. So um, that was quite a little bit of an adventure for a short period of time. So now we're connecting over to Bulls Bridge Road. So again, this is still Old Stone Road. So I don't know why the road stops in the middle, somewhere around there, and then connects again to a paved road. So Bulls Bridge Road, a couple of stats there. I added the distance actually on the right hand side, the distance of the actual track or the actual course that's uphill, which I actually didn't get to do on the previous video. So we're coming around this bend now, and when we first rode this area, the road looked like it was a lot steeper, but the elevation for some reason it's showing it's 1%, which okay maybe it is, But we also, from the previous ride that we did this, we didn't take Old Stone Road. We actually started off in Bulls Bridge Road and started climbing. So that's probably why at this point my legs were shot the first time we did it. But this is the second time uh, doing this, and that car kind of just sped through the corner there. So this climb here, it does start to get a little steep. We're at 5% now, and it's always intimidating when I see these types of climbs where it goes around in a corner. But this time around, actually, I knew that I had some recovery after walking the bike through the woods, that I got some fresh legs here. And it's not actually as steep as what I initially thought. My heart rate's still high, 180. It is probably the first time that this is the first time that I've done this video this way, where I can see the metrics and learning a lot about where my heart rate increases and the reason why. And I'm breathing very heavily after this ride. So I titled this one Fuller Mountain Road Climb, but the actual road itself doesn't start at Fuller Mountain. It's actually Macedonia Brook Road. So as we're turning here, this is actually Macedonia Brook Road, which is in Macedonia State Park. So this is one of the bigger climbs that we did. This is the last climb that we did that day. So it's a nice area. Beautiful town. I never knew there was such thing as a Macedonia, Connecticut. Actually, Jason mentioned that. But apparently there is a nice little farm town and open road and very quiet, no cars. This was actually on Saturday morning, which we never ride on Saturday morning. We usually, or I shouldn't say we never, but we typically ride on Sunday. But it just so happened it was raining on Sunday, so we decided to do this ride on a Saturday. So there was one car, otherwise mostly quiet roads. So I was looking at the elevation profile as I was riding this, and I knew that the climb was coming up soon. So right now we get a nice downhill, and I'm trying to kind of pedal faster so that in case the climb does start, I get some momentum. But it looks like still a downhill. I just love the scenery here with most of the leaves look like the trees look like the leaves have fallen, but whatever that's left over, it always looks beautiful, and the camera doesn't do any justice. So this is the beginning of the climb. It started off at 1%, and all of a sudden it quickly goes up to 4%. So this is still Macedonia Brook Road, and we will come across Fuller Mountain in a bit. So if you kept going straight on this road, it'll continue Macedonia Brook, and then this is the right turn. As soon as I made a right turn to Fuller Mountain and I saw this road, and some curse word came out of my mouth, but which I will not repeat. So this is the first part of the climb, probably the hardest part of the climb for me. It just quickly jumps up to, I think it was 16% at one point here. I'm not sure if it's at this point, but it was fairly steep. and of course it turns around the corner. And so I am putting this in the lowest gear possible, just pedaling, and heart rate pretty high. And so I'm still pedaling here, breathing pretty heavily, 13%. It's interesting actually when I look at these gradient as I'm watching the video, um, how steep these roads can get. I almost wonder what it's like in the winter time, living in this neighborhood.
To the tennis court and talk it up like yeah, and talk it up like yeah, and talk it up like yeah. Let's go down to the tennis court and talk it up like yeah, and talk it up like yeah, and talk it up like yeah. Let's go down to the tennis court and talk it up like yeah.
So we're nearing almost the end of the climb here, and it looks like it's about a tenth of a mile left, and I'm going so slow that it looks like the red dot isn't even moving. Well, 4 miles is actually kind of fast for me, going up these steep grades, but it's been 1.7 miles since the beginning of of this third climb. Pretty winded, and we're now up to, if you're looking at the elevation on the left hand side, we're at 875 feet now, and I believe we started at around 400 feet. I have to go back to check that, but yeah, it just keeps going up. You could see the crest of the hill at the top there. As soon as you don't see the roads continue, then you know you're at the top. So it's, I believe it's 900 or so feet at the very top, 915, and then it's a nice kind of coast to downhill. And yeah, this was a very hard climb to do, especially after the small little ones that we did earlier today, and just kind of a mind over matter. When you look at a big hill, you think, oh, I can't do that, and your brain immediately shuts down. But it's just a matter of, are you willing to listen to your brain, or do you think your body could do it? And this was one of those tests where your body can do it, pushing itself to the limits. Not too far, but close to its limits. 925 feet of elevation at the top. I'll take it. So, of course, leave it to me to get lost again. Well, technically, we weren't lost. The GPS was telling me to make a right turn into what looked like a driveway. And Jason's like, no, that's somebody's property. And I said, no, the GPS said to turn here. And so I didn't record that part, but we definitely trespassed into someone's property, and somehow their backyard led to this trail. I don't know, Ride with GPS took us here. So clearly this is not a paved road. This is a trail, and I'm actually riding it. Jason got off to walk this because it was a little too bumpy. There were, I think, rocks hidden underneath these leaves. Good morning. Hi. Is this road? No, my GPS is taking me. Hi, buddy. Is this Fuller Mountain Road?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know if you continue on, we usually go to the right, but that's super rocky.
Yeah.
If you go to the left, it's
Okay.
a more paved
Okay.
road like this.
Here we go again. Somehow I managed to take us off-road again. We're in this trail, and hopefully, according to my GPS, we'll be hopefully a quarter of a mile until we hit paved roads again. So in case you're wondering, we did make it out alive. We had some good downhill after that big climb, and now we're riding into Kent. So that bus, for some reason, decided I went to take over the lane, and it still wanted to pass me, so whatever. But yeah, overall, it was a good climb. I was at this point, I think my entire body was aching. Still trying to recover from this cold, and you can probably hear that from my voice. Yeah, kind of a sort of a moderate to hard effort today because of that one big climb in Fuller Mountain. But yeah, now this road, this is South Kent Road. This is nice because it's fairly flat-ish, and so it helps to sort of just as that being a cool down. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you liked this video. Definitely like and subscribe for more videos and notifications. Thanks.